Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? I hope you are fine wherever you are. Hello. Hi. That's good. Okay, I'm Jerry, your number one online ACCA tutor. All right, and in this video, I'm going to take you through some marketing related questions, all right, which were part of the week 10. That is the last week of our start phase. All right, they were part of the week 10 assignments. So we're going to now go through the questions and then discuss the answers. All right, the answers which we are going to give you are not really what you are expected to come up with in an examination. All right, you in an examination you just have to be very real. Okay, but these ones are just going to be given to you so that you understand everything with regard to a particular question. All right, and the purpose of the video is not really for you to claim so that you regurgitate these answers, answers in the examination, but they are just meant to, to groom you to maturity. To the level expected by the examiner, right? But doesn't mean that you have to copy word for word, but you just have to, use the answers to correct your positions to know more about the subject area. Are we together, ladies and gentlemen? In an actual examination, you're not likely going to meet the same questions. They'll be very different. But we'll try by all means to just, discuss all the facets of a particular question or this or subject so that you get into that examination hall well prepared. All right. As I have indicated at the start of this course, that this paper, the ACCA Business Technology paper, is going to be written upon demand, which means any day when you are free, when you are ready to write the examination, you just have to book online and you'll sit for the examination. You don't need to wait for the March window or June, September or December. No, this examination can be written any day. Are we together? So in this particular video, we will focus our attention towards marketing, the marketing. All right. So, but before we get into detail, I want to ask you a question. What is marketing? All right. I hope you have paused the video to give us the answer. But anyway, from my understanding, marketing is the practice or the discipline of anticipating customer needs and satisfying them. You need to anticipate what the customer wants and then you need to satisfy the customer. That's the basic of marketing. So this customer could be an internal customer, right? Or an external customer. An internal customer means somebody who is an employee or a manager. When they approach you, you need to behave like a marketing person, okay, or like a salesman. All right, you need not to be harsh to them. You need to treat them right, with respect, with all the alacrity, with everything you can do. Professional, of course. That shows the idea that you are a business practitioner. All right. The customer as well could be somebody external to the organization who wants to buy a product from you. You then have to treat them again as a salesperson. But this marketing philosophy is not, I mean, uh, is not, what shall I say here? It's not tied, let me just say, it's not tied only to marketing people or those in the marketing department. This philosophy can be practiced by anyone within the organization, be they a manager in charge of production or in charge of ICT or an accountant or somebody who works as a bricklayer or a mechanic. He or she can practice marketing, is required to practice marketing. Are we together, ladies and gentlemen? Good. So, with that background, ladies and gentlemen, Let us then get straight to the questions. Okay, good. Our first question is question 1A. An accounts department is not making goods and selling them, and so does not need the marketing concept. Is this a fair comment? So the examiner is giving us a statement which is being made by somebody. As you can see, using your understanding of English language, you can see that the statement given is in quotes. What does that mean? It means that these are spoken words. Somebody was uttering those words, right? Somebody was uttering those words. As you can see, this was not a fair comment. Why wasn't it a fair comment? Because, as you can see, this guy is just saying that I work in the accounts department, so don't trouble me with the marketing philosophy. It's not mine. I'm not the one. I'm not the one responsible for selling goods or for producing them. So why should I bother about the marketing concept? Why should I be a salesman, whether in attitude or in practice? So that type of comment was not good. It wasn't fair at all, right? So there are various reasons which have been given by the examiner. The first reason, as you can see on the screen, is that the accounts department itself supplies information to various other parts of the organization. Providing information is its service. So what they sell, the accounts people, they sell the provision of information, which is their service. And the other parts of the organization are effectively its customers, which means those departments like ICT, production, HR, etc. are the clients or the customers of the accounts department. So in that regard, the accountants are charged with marketing. They need to be marketing people whenever they are offering their services. That is, whenever they are providing information to those departments, they need to exercise marketing. The other reason is that the accounts department itself deals with customers mostly all the time. For example, when they deal with credit customers, they need to ensure that they handle those customers well. They need to handle them with a salesman attitude. They need not to be rough to them. All right. So you can see that marketing is not only limited to people who are in the marketing fraternity, but everybody within the organization should practice marketing. Remember, the purpose of this module, the ACCA AB or BT, the business technology, is to prepare us to become business accountants, not only number crunchers. We are expected to be business people, to have a business attitude. That's the purpose of the ACCA qualification. It is preparing us to know the figures, but going beyond the figures to become business people who can relate well with business customers as well as other stakeholders. Let's move on to question B. A business is planning to launch a new product. It plans to sell this product in Europe and America, but will charge more in America as it feels American people will be willing to pay more. What type of pricing strategy? So the examiner is now telling us if we know this particular strategy, what is this pricing strategy the business is considering? We are given 4 pricing strategies. The first one, penetration pricing. B, going rate pricing. C, price skimming. D, price discrimination. So what you need to show to the examiner is that you know all these pricing strategies, and you just have to pick the correct one. Obviously, if we are having a variety of customer locations, I mean um, market locations, but we are charging different prices, it means that we are segmenting our prices. We are segmenting those markets by prices. So in that case, we are discriminating by price. So that's price discrimination. We are selling the same good, we are selling the same service, but different prices in different locations. So that's price discrimination. What about penetration pricing? What is that? Penetration pricing is the practice of charging initially the lower price as we enter the market. For example, if we are a new, a mobile device or a mobile telephone manufacturer, all right? We are manufacturing these mobile phones or mobile devices, and we are still new in this particular market. We want to gain to gain the market share. So what we do is we charge initially lower prices, right? We charge initially lower prices. Then when we are established, then that's when we start then to charge more prices. Why? Because at that level, we would have gained what is called customer loyalty. We are now known, they are now trusting our brand, so they are comfortable to pay an extra or a premium of that knowledge because we're now having a brand. Are we together? So penetration pricing is for us to penetrate the market. So we charge a lower price and then we increase as we go. What about going rate pricing? Going rate pricing is a situation where, not a situation, it's actually a strategy where we do not want to start market confrontations, right? We do not want to start price wars or confrontations with other competitors. We just want to go low, so we just charge the ruling price or the market price. For example, we are a new fast food outlet, right? We can't enter the market, which we know that a two pizza is going for $4.50. So we don't want to cause wars or to cause havoc with other competitors. We don't want those dramas. We just get into the market and charge it our two pizza at $4.50. That also gives us some advantage where the customers will quickly gain confidence in us, uh, thinking that we are just offering the same high quality goods with others. Are we together? So going rate has got an advantage of just winning loyalty in an indirect way because we are just going to charge the same price as those trusted guys. So it means that our products are as well at par or of the same quality. So going rate is charging the same price. All right. Okay. Then lastly, we have price skimming. Price skimming is a strategy where we start entering the market with a higher price. Okay, this one is mainly preview in the technology landscape where because we have got this particular technology which we have innovated, we want to be the first, the first takers of the first possible dollar in the market. So we get into the market charging the higher price, hoping that when the competitors catch up with us, we would have recovered our costs. All right. So we are quite confident that we are going to make it. We charge a higher price, and then as competitors now imitate us, they are following us. They are now catching us up. Then that's when when the competitors catch up our abilities, then that's when we start to reduce our price. But when we introduce the product into the market, we charge the higher price possible. Are we together, ladies and gentlemen? So that's the trick which is being used in price skimming. Let's proceed to part C. Okay, is there a model answer for this part B? Yes, good. That's the model answer there. You can as well, because the examiner is saying that the answer is price discrimination. All right, this would be a classic example of price discrimination, selling the same product at different prices to different market, or to different markets or sections of the market. All right, so let's proceed to question C. Printers are available to buy very cheaply. However, the cartridges required to operate them are expensive. What kind of pricing strategy are the printer manufacturers using? Okay, in this case, we are having a certain product, okay, that is being used as a soap to attract the gullible. All right, the printers are getting to the market cheaply, cheaper, but they are complementary, or the price, the product that is used together with them is having a higher price. In that case, you can as well see that all the strategies which I have explained, the price penetration, the price skimming, and going rate, are not singing well with the description of the scenario. Then in that case, you can safely say that our answer should be captive product pricing. Okay. The first product is cheap to attract customers, but the second is expensive. So that's actually captive product pricing. Okay. Now we have question number 2. Choose the correct word to fill in the blank. We are given 3 choices or 3 words. The first one is planning. Second, production. Third, promotion. Now the statement is saying the dash function plans, organizes, and controls the necessary activities to provide products and services. All right, so the distractor here, all right, the distractor is the word plan, plans. So if you're not careful, you're going to pick the word planning and say the planning function plans, organizes, and controls the necessary activities to provide products and services. The key word here is provide. So if we are providing products and services, obviously we are a production department. So our answer there should be production. The planning function, there is nothing like a planning function. At a command, we're not going to have a planning function. Of course, there is what is called the R&D, but it doesn't mean that they are there to plan. They are executives, but the executives is called a board, executive board, not executive planning, not a planning function. Of course, the executives are in charge of planning, but there is no section or function dedicated, with such particular name, planning. Are we together? Yes. All right. Question number 3. Marketing is the management process which identifies, anticipates, and satisfies customer needs regardless of expense. Obviously, as we read, it sounds, synonymous. It sounds well with our understanding. But now we are going to be in conflict with this phrase, regardless of expense. You know, marketing should be done uh, at at a profit, or let me just say profitably. It should be done profitably. That's the good phrase. Marketing should be done profitably. So, was the statement true or false? Obviously, it was false. We need to consider the benefits. The benefits of marketing should outweigh the cost of doing the marketing. So we need to do the marketing with the profitability mentality, of the profitability mind. Are we together, ladies and gentlemen? Good. Let us see what the examiner said. Yes, the examiner is saying that that's false. The statement is false. The statement was indeed false. What about the other part? Yes, production. So we were right. Are we together, ladies and gentlemen? So let's move on. Which of the following is the main function of marketing? What is the main function of marketing? Remember, when I started this video, I defined marketing. And I say that it is actually there to identify and anticipate customer needs. We need to identify them and anticipate. All right? So this should be our answer. So B, the basic principle that underlies marketing is that it is a management process that identifies and anticipates customer needs. The other distractors in the question refer to specific activities undertaken by a marketing function. So obviously, well, when they do whatever activity they do, they need to maximize sales and so forth. But that's not the logic behind this, behind setting up the marketing department. Right? When we set up the marketing department, we want those guys to identify and anticipate. The idea of anticipating means that we need to go ahead of the customers. We need not to wait upon their coming to our premises, but we need to anticipate what they need so that we are well informed in our production department. So the marketing people, they do their marketing research and so forth way ahead of the problem, way ahead of our plans, so that when we go into production, we are going to produce things which are required by the market. Are we together, ladies and gentlemen? Good. Let's proceed. Garikai works as the procurement manager of Pedia Company, a large services company. Information provided by Garikai is most relevant to which of the following elements of the marketing mix? Now, this guy works in the procurement department. He's a procurement manager. So his information is going to be instrumental where, remember, the marketing mix has got 4 P's. You know the 4 P's, but there are now 7 P's. All right? You need to know those ones. But the question was not asking you your knowledge of the 4 P's or 7 P's. That was not being asked, upon. What was being asked about was whether the information from the procurement manager is going to affect which P. All right. So obviously, we know that the procurement guys are going to give us information about the cost of products. So the cost of products is actually a variable linked to the price. It is linked to the price. That's how you were supposed to to identify this answer. That's how you were supposed to identify this particular answer. Are we together? Good. Physical evidence, distribution, that is the place. Those ones have nothing to do with the procurement guys, the procurement manager. Okay. What about processes? Is processes part of the P's? The processes, although is part of uh, the 7 P's, was not going to be affected, all right, by the information from the procurement manager. All right, this one talks about the procedures or processes that are going to be used in the manufacture of or the product. Um, so definitely that information should be given by the production manager, something like that. Okay, so processes also go a step further in those procedures and systems in place to deliver the product to the customer. Is it going to be requiring a lot of interactions by the customers on the website? Is it going to be delivered through a self-service kiosk and so forth? Sometimes, for example, like the what we experience at KFC, where they have got this self-service um, system where when you approach their outlet, you might be able to request a certain package through self-service. You need not to have to be in the queue and get somebody and some salesperson to deliver that product to you. You just have to punch your information on a self-service portal or self-service point where you just input your information and then you deliver your product. You receive your product. So those are the processes we are talking about. The processes which are in place to ensure that the product or service is being delivered to the customer. The process also involves the way or the procedures involved in manufacturing that product or service. So it goes a long way from the production itself to the way the item or the product is going to be delivered to the end user. So you can see that that information is not linked to procurement. So the procurement's information is not going to affect that that P, the processes, but it affects the prices. Why? Because these guys are the ones in charge of sourcing the raw materials. They're the ones in charge of looking for those items which we need to sell from the suppliers. So they have got the information in terms of prices, in terms of cost of those items. Are we together? I think I have explained a lot on this area. Okay, so let's proceed to the next item. Well, that's the examiner's answer, which could be helpful if we go through it. I'm looking for an eraser here. All right, so that you guys have got a clear vision of what the examiner is saying. Information on purchase costs of finished goods or raw materials is important in establishing the price of a product. In terms of the marketing mix, this information is most relevant to the price element, as prices should be set at least to cover cost and give an acceptable level of profit. So that's that's the information from the production manager is relevant for pricing, for the price. Question number 6. In the context of marketing, the 4 P's are price, promotion, dash, and dash. Obviously, we are going to have the product as another P there, and the place. Do we have positioning? Obviously, we don't. Okay, positioning is not part of the P's. So the additional 3, remember the 7 P's are price, promotion, product, place, people, physical, evidence, and process. Okay, so your job is to then define how these matter in the marketing mix. How do they matter in enabling the sale, or the marketability of a product? If you are looking at people, what comes into mind? People look at things like, the quality of staff that are selling the product. Customers are going to be frustrated if a good product is being sold by a drunkard, somebody who is wearing, dirty clothes, somebody who can't talk nicely, somebody who can't smile. So by the end of the day, the customers will leave your product and go to other sellers. So the people matter. How qualified are they? How good are they in treating customers? All right, how responsive are they to customer demands, to customer expectations, to customer requests? Then when we talk of the physical evidence, we are looking at those attributes which make the product appeal to the public or to the customers. For example, the packaging. All right, the packaging of the product itself, the size, all those things, the design. When we are looking at the product, are we going to be happy? The process, of course, we talked about that, is those systems in place to ensure that the product is delivered to the customers. What processes are involved? How many intermediaries? All those things. Is it a user-friendly process, or is it a complicated process for one to acquire this particular product? The place, obviously, that one talks of the actual place where we are going to locate the product. Is it, located online on a website, or we need to go to the shop physically? Do we need to physically walk there to get the product, or we can just do it online and it is going to be delivered to us? Where do we get that product? The product itself, then the product. The product talks well about the design of the product, but it goes beyond that. The product refers to the actual item, its use, its purpose, what differentiates it from other products. Are we together? So the P in product simply looks at, the real or the actual offering. What is it? How does it differ from others? Is this bread? Is this a bun? Is this a cake? Etc. So a product is actually that particular item we are going to offer. What is it? Then promotion. This talks about those channels which we are going to employ, or those means which are going to use to ensure that the product is known. What methods are we going to use? Sometimes if we use the wrong methods, we are not going to sell anything. The price. What particular price are we going to sell? Remember, pricing is a function of this pricing strategy, and we've talked of those pricing strategies. Are we going to use penetration pricing? Are we going to use price skimming? Are we going to use the going rate price? Are we going to use the captive pricing model? Captive product pricing. So all those things should be considered when we talk of price. Are we together? Again, on product, we need to understand what production methods are we going to use. All those things should be considered in our marketing mix. Are we together? Good. So obviously the answers were 1 and 3. 1 was talking of the product, 3 the place. So obviously we are saying that there is price, promotion, okay, product and place. Those were the 4 initial P's, the 4 P's. Then we added people, physical evidence, process. Please bear this in mind. Bear this in mind, because on examination day, if you don't bear this in mind, you are going to be dazzled and you end up picking positioning from nowhere. It's just a distractor. Excuse me. Sometimes when you Google these things, you are going to see positioning. If you use the chat GPTs and so forth, you are going to get positioning, but positioning is not part of the 7 P's. Are we together? Good. All right. Which of the following is not part of the marketing mix? This question is resident. You need to master this question even whilst you are asleep. Even if you enter the examination hall asleep, you need to be able to ace this question. Are we together? Obviously, from our discussion so far, we discovered that people is part of the marketing mix, promotion, physical evidence, but D is not. So D is a red herring. D is not. Number 6, what element of, 6C, what element of the marketing mix are the following situations contained with? All right, so we've got 1, Irene Co manufactures and sells board games. It is currently considering the packaging quality and design of the board games as part of a strategic review. So they are worried about the packaging, the quality, and the design of the board games themselves. So they are actually worried about the product. So the P, product, talks of the packaging itself, the quality, and the design of the board games. So that's remember, you were given a table where you were supposed to just to tick the appropriate box for each solution. That's what was required to do. All right. So as can be seen there, the first part is talking of the product. What about the other part? A key decision when reviewing the marketing mix is whether to sell directly to the customer or indirectly through an intermediary. So here we are talking of distribution, which is a place, a P. So where are we going to distribute the product? How are you going to distribute the product, right? Shall we use a particular shop, our own shop, or we need to use a wholesaler, something like that? Or are we going to use a website, right? We're going to use to sell the items through our own local shop or through an intermediary, or so we'll be talking of distribution, and that's a function of place. So the answer is place. But in an examination, it doesn't mean that, let me just try to reiterate that point. It doesn't mean that if you have chosen this first box, it's wrong again to choose the other box under it. No, it doesn't mean that. You just have to tick the appropriate box. It doesn't mean that all your ticks have gone on the same line or same column. That's not a problem to the examiner. Sometimes they do that trick and you'll be required to tick in the same column. All right. So, but in this particular case, this one was not supposed to be ticked. All right. Let's proceed. So that's our answer, as you can see there on the screen, that we were right. Now, here's another question. When considering the roles of different departments, which one of the following is likely to be concerned with identifying and satisfying customer needs? Obviously, from our definition of marketing, you can see that marketing is the department being asked about in this case. Question number 8. An online retailer using the 4Ps marketing mix model should categorize its website under the category of place. Is this statement true or false? This is true. Okay, I have repeated that statement over and over again. Right? Let us see if the examiner has something else to give us. Right? Good. So we are right. We are correct in our answering. We are actually in the right state, in the right direction. Okay, let's proceed if there are still other questions. All right, a company with a marketing orientation. Remember, I have emphasized that your company or you yourself should have a marketing orientation. So a company with a marketing orientation believes that A, products should be sold actively and aggressively. This one is wrong. That's not a marketing orientation attitude. Meeting customer needs better than competitors is the key to corporate success. Well, that one should be put on hold. C, the level of sales, advertising, and sales promotion is key to corporate success. Well, although that one matters, it's not really correct. Okay, because it's not really about the level of sales or our hectic advertisement or heavy advertisement. No, it's not really that. All right. producing goods and services of optimum quality is the key to corporate success. No. In a marketing environment, it's not about producing quality goods. No, it's about doing good marketing. Okay, at the end of the day, if you are doing good marketing, even if your goods are of average quality, they are going to be sold, they're going to be in business. Are we together? So obviously the answer should be B. Let us see what the examiner has. Good. B is the answer. This is a philosophy of business that permeates all areas, focusing attention on the customer. The customer matters. The customer is the boss. So you need to meet the customer needs better than your competitors for you to remain in the business. Otherwise, you're going to have good cars, good products on the car sale, but if you're not good at customer care, you are not going to sell anything. If you're not good at anticipating customer needs, then you're not going to be in business. Are we together, ladies and gentlemen? Good. The use of basic rather than the extended marketing mix is more appropriate when a common dash. So you need to know when to use the 4 P's and when to use the 7 P's. So they are saying that when are we going to use the basic P's, the 4 P's? These ones are usually used in companies which are producing physical commodities. So obviously, the common is going to use an intermediary, and they are producing physical goods like computer components. All right. In a telecommunications sector or something, an organization that aims to minimize marketing expenditure, or an organization that directly interacts with customers, such as a supermarket, they go an extra mile. They have to satisfy all the 7 P's. But if you're using an intermediary and we are just selling physical goods and so forth, if we satisfy the 4 P's, we are home and dry. We are good to go. Are we together, ladies and gentlemen? So that's the trick. It's a little trick which, if you, take care of it, you are highly likely to pass this examination. All right. Do we still have anything to go by? So the examiner is saying the basic mix tends to be used by organizations selling a tangible product as opposed to a service. So we are good to go. At which stage of the strategic management process will the organization have to segment its market? Okay, when here we are being tested our appreciation of strategic planning or strategic analysis, something like that. So here, obviously, this is an issue of making some choice. All right, the stage of the strategic marketing process. At which stage of the strategic marketing, of the strategic management, actually, yes, this is the actual term I missed. At which stage of the strategic management process will the organization have to segment its market? Obviously, when we would have reached a situation where we are now grown, okay, we're now grown, but we then want to, do what is called market segmentation, so that we know which products to supply which market. We're not going to do to supply all our offerings to the same market, but to supply everything we have to the same market, but we want now to to segment or to just divide our market offerings, so that we supply to other markets these things and to another those other things. All right. So that is an issue of strategic choice. All right. That's an issue of strategic choice. So that stage will be the choice stage. It's not an analysis or review or implementation stage, but a choice. Then what follows from a choice is then the implementation. All right. So that's the choice stage. Let us see from the examiner. Segmentation would occur at the strategic choice stage as this enables the organization to target attractive sections of the market. Like I said, we would have reached a certain situation or a certain stage in our business practices where we then say, fine, we have got the market before us, but we need to earn more. We need to capitalize on the highest possible market. So we can then segment our offerings this way. Are we together? Good. Number 12, promotion is about encouraging customers to buy the organization's products or services by moving them through 4 stages. Here, you need to be aware of what is called the AIDA framework. You need to, here I want you to claim this, because if you don't know this, you are going to fail. So the AIDA, it starts with awareness. Just know that the first A is awareness. Then your homework dry. So following the AIDA, we know that awareness should be 1, right? So awareness should be our 1, all right? And then our interest is 2. Then our desire is 3. Then 4 is that one. All right. So when you are picking now the trick of doing this is that you're going to confuse yourself and think that you're going to select your answers. Following what I've done there. No, those ones. Those numbers I put are there to guide the chronology. All right. I'm going to guide you in the chronology of things, right? The way the choices have been given there, you then have to work out. So, what is the correct order for these 4 stages? So, once you have written your AIDA there, then you have to know that your A, your I, your the AIDA, the first A should be awareness, right? So you then come here and say, awareness, where are you? Awareness is on 2, right? So obviously, we know that awareness should be 1 as indicated. So we then have to look at awareness. Awareness is 2, so our 2 should be 1. So we put our 1 here, all right? All right, and then we ask ourselves, where is number 2? Number 2 is on this. This is number 2. Our number 2 is interest. All right, so where is number 2? Obviously, the other option, which was, as you can see, that A here, A is being followed by item 4. All right, item 4 is what we have designated as our number 2. So we are still in line. We are still in line. And then item 3, we've shown it as desire, which is our number 3. All right. And then our number 4 has been action, which is 1. All right. So you can see that this one is actually in line with our listing of numbers there. All right. So you can safely say that A is the answer. But how did I manage to know that A is the answer? I was assisted by Ida. This, okay, that's the philosophy, the acronym that has assisted me to arrive at the correct answer. You just have to, this one, I want you to memorize it, right? You need to. But, okay, let's get the logic. Here we are saying, the statement is saying promotion is about encouraging customers to buy the organization's products or services by moving them through 4 stages. So the first stage, excuse me, the first stage is awareness. We need to make customers know what we are offering. They need to know, right? They need to know. This could be done through advertisement and so forth, so that we make them know what we are offering. Then, interest. Once we have done, excuse me, once we have done the marketing, obviously the customers are going to develop some interest. For example, if we put Messi or Ronaldo, for example, just an example, of course, there could be other players which are now better than them, of course, but we are not there. Now, if we put Messi, for example, on a particular product as an advertisement, the product becomes known through awareness, then the customers start to develop some interest, all right? And then we continue doing our effort, and then they reach a stage when they are now desiring the product, all right? So, desiring is actually an issue of having interest plus the willingness to act. All right. So it's a interest of an advanced stage. All right. Interest of an advanced stage. Then, when we continue making our efforts, we then reach a stage of action. This is the stage when the customer is going to buy our products. They are now taking action. So you're not going to guess out these things. You need to know the framework, the AIDA framework. All right. Do you still have any other question? Or let us see what the examiner has said. Examiner is saying that you guys, you need to, yes, we are right. He's saying that the correct answer is A there. And he's also reiterating the AIDA framework. So, guys, we do not have any other alternative ways out of this. We need to just know this particular framework. Okay, analysis of brand strength would come under which part of the strategic planning process? Obviously, this one now is at strategic analysis, where we'll be doing those SWOT analysis. We want to know our strengths and weaknesses and so forth. So that's at strategic analysis stage. Please revise your strategic management topic, because you'll be dazzled with these things. You need to know these stages: the strategic analysis stage, the strategic choice, and then the strategic implementation. You need to know those, these stages by hand, not by head. Okay, they need to be cast at the back of your head. All right. Galaxy PLC has created a new type of mobile phone. It took a number of years of research and development, and Galaxy are concerned that the commerce rivals will quickly copy the phone and sell their own versions. Galaxy have therefore decided to sell the phone at a very high initial price per unit in order to quickly recoup the development costs. Once rival products are launched, Galaxy would drop the price in order to compete more effectively. What type of pricing strategy is this? And we've talked about this. This is what is called what? Price scheming. Let us see what the examiner said. Not that one. Yes, this is a classic example of price skimming, and I have explained it during my explanations of these pricing strategies. And I hope at this level that these pricing strategies have really sink in you, that you are not going to forget them. Consider the following statements. Promotion involves the use of the AIDA sequence, which stands for advertise, interest, desire, and action. Did we talk of advertise? Who can still remember? Obviously, we talked of awareness. Yes, the process of making customers aware could involve advertising, but it doesn't mean that uh, you should put advertised because they can be made aware through, community outreach programs, where I mean community awareness campaigns and so forth. So that's not advertising, but we are just making the community aware of our product. All right. So advertise is not the good word there. We want awareness. Number two, when looking at strategic marketing, setting budgets for adverts would occur at the stage of implementation stage. Yes, where when you are now crafting budgets and so forth, that's we want to implement the strategy, right? So that one is correct. So what is the answer? The answer should be B, two only. Let us see what the examiner said. IDA stands for awareness, interest, desire, and action. So statement one is wrong. Statement two is correct. So you can see that if you do not memorize, but rather just knowing, because if you simply know that our awareness is something to do with advertising and so forth, you're, you're going to fail. Remember, this is uh, a knowledge exam. A knowledge exam requires more of memorizing things than of knowing them. You need to memorize. This is how you prepare your mind. As an accountant, you need to be attentive to detail, and this examination is going to prepare you for that. It's going to prepare you for that. So, ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget to spread the word. This is my number, ladies and gentlemen. 263-774-596-368. Spread the word. Please tell your brothers, your sisters, mothers, and fathers that the ACCA tutor is ready to work with you throughout the ACCA qualification. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, please continue to feel excited. And I mean very excited. Goodbye.